Yes, kind of that. All right, hello everyone. Hello everyone. Can anyone hear me?
Hello, good evening.
Hey. All right, welcome to class.
Thank you, sir.
All right. I just thought I should show my face today so you get to meet me. If you also want me to meet you, it would be nice to show your video, otherwise you are fine. But essentially, we just want to meet ourselves and introduce ourselves to the course proper today. Ask as many questions as you may have saved for me. And then set the ball rolling. All right, so. All right, so today we are doing introduction, basically, as much as possible, unless we've exhausted all of our questions in 1 hour or so. We don't want to start the practicals today. We just want to get the fundamentals right. All right. Okay, so my name is Akin Aregbesola. I advertise the program that this training session, and then I'm sure I'm chatting with some of you on the WhatsApp. And today is the inaugural session for the training termed Cloud Solutions Architect. It will be a 3-month program, and those 3 months will be covering Linux. I'm going to explain what Linux is. Then we'll be covering AWS, which is the main course for this module. And then what else are we covering? Yeah, those are the 3. And then for the 2, for persons, and I'm sure many of you are completely new to IT, we are taking the preliminary course called IT Fundamentals. IT Fundamentals. We'll take IT Fundamentals, we'll take Linux as an operating system, and then we'll take into cloud, and then we'll show you around so that at the end of the AWS session, 1, you're able to pass the certification examination, and then 2, you are able to actually install, implement, and architect a cloud solution. All right. If some of these words are too technical at this time, I would explain them all and make sure you understand them before we start the training proper. But if you don't ask questions, then there is no way I would know that a particular vocabulary needs explanation. All right. Having said that, I am holding the inaugural session from the US, but I have my US class, and I primarily take my US classes. But like I said in the advert, just to share the goodies, because so many good things are happening here, but just to remember home and share some of the goodies with you, we have deliberately made this cheap and affordable. However, it is not the same curriculum as the US curriculum. All right, so I'll be introducing this session again for the 3rd time, and then I'll hand you over to my Nigeria trainers who will be taking you from after the inaugural session and giving you everything you need in the next 3 months to become a cloud solutions architect. Right? So before we do that handover, I'm here for the next 1 hour or 2 hours because it's meant to last 2 hours to take your questions. All right, so that's me by way of introduction. If there's anyone who would like to introduce themselves, I'd like to see you in video, and then just as many people as would like to meet me so that I remember you when you do get a job, because many of you, I can't promise 100%, but a very good percentage of you will be getting good jobs from the knowledge and skills gained from this training. All right, so that when they say this happened and this person is involved, I will remember, oh, okay, I met that person in the very first time. All right, so we'll just spend a couple of minutes to introduce ourselves, and then we'll go into laying the foundation, explaining the fundamentals, taking your questions, and then ultimately starting the course. All right, thank you.
Good evening, sir. I don't know if you can see me.
No, Unity.
Oh, that means I have to like.
Yeah, don't worry about it if it's
Okay.
not.
My name is Unity. I'm in Benin presently. I'm joining from Benin. I'm a fresher. I'm a fresher to tech, but I have other. I've actually been building myself on industrial security. So I have like 10 years cognizance experience in security. I have a first degree in agriculture. I have a master's degree in energy and petroleum economics. I'm a contract staff in an oil and gas establishment at the moment. So the desire is to take my career to the next level. And I think tech and cybersecurity, it's the way to go. So I want to build a career there, sustainable career there, not just for the money. I want to enjoy it, and I want to imbibe every knowledge and apply every knowledge that will be gained from this session. And I believe that after this session, if the need be, subsequently, I would also like to build a career path from here. So I'm a fresher, and you have all my ears ready to listen and ready to learn. And I believe this is the course I want to, this is the direction I want to go right now, considering the movement of global economy generally. So I think I'm happy to be here.
All right, awesome.
I'm happy to see you, sir.
Awesome, even though I'm not seeing you, Unity. Where are you in Benin?
I'm in
Road,
DRA, second Ubo. DRA, second Ubo,
okay.
close to Church of God Mission
Awesome.
headquarters.
I was just showing off to let you know that I know Benin.
Yes, I know you do. I know you do from the way you ask.
From New Benin to Okoro, all the way. Yeah, I used to live there long ago. All right, awesome. Thank you, Unity. Who else wants to talk? What about 24 here in class? All right, who else is here?
Yeah, my name is
Bolding.
I just
okay,
joined.
I see you now, Unity. Lasso Commit Johnson, you are here.
Yeah, my name is Vince. Good evening, Akin. I just joined now.
Oh yeah, Vince. Okay.
Yeah. How you doing, sir?
I'm good.
Okay. So I just joined now. Do we need to introduce ourselves or?
Yeah, that's where we are. We are introducing ourselves.
Okay, so my name is Vincent Okeke. I stay in Port Harcourt. Currently working in an oil and gas firm. I'm a senior account manager on one of the oil and gas servicing company. So what else do you need to know before I progress, since I just came in now?
Yeah, basically I've introduced myself, so as much of you that you want us to know and share is fine. If that's all you want to say. Yeah.
So that's all. So I'm happy to join the class just to gain knowledge on AWS and see how I can progress from there going forward. Thank you.
Awesome. You're welcome. All right.
Yeah. My
so
name is
another oil and gas person from Port Harcourt. Again, I used to have an office in Port Harcourt.
Where precisely?
Behind the United Glow office. Where's that place? Bikwere Wosu.
Okay.
No. Bikwere Wosu, close to. You know where Bikwere Wosu is? I used to have a TTC mobile office there, like 5, 7, 10 years ago. So I know a little of Port Harcourt.
You really moved around though, from Benin to Port Harcourt.
Yeah, I'm trying my strength. Let's see how much of Nigeria I've covered, depending on who and who is challenging.
Akin the tourist.
All right. Yes. Peter was going to say something.
Good day, sir.
Who is that?
Are you hearing me?
Yes, I can hear you now.
Good evening, sir. Good evening. I think, can I say my classmate? I'm Peter Adedeji. A nurse by profession. Currently running my PhD in nursing in Obafemi Awolowo University. I have my first degree, second degree at OAU. But right from almost 20 years ago, I've had the passion to be in IT because I knew no matter what, IT will still come to health sector. So I've been focused on health informatics. But the challenge has been that there is no institution that can definitely train one along that career path in Nigeria. So it's been a lot of challenge for me. And it's not easy to really be a pioneer in that area, in that sector around there. And most of the IT solution guys around here in that early period were much more interested in banking. Nobody really wanted to delve into healthcare because healthcare seems very complex. So I went from learning Cisco, went to NIT, just trying to learn some bit of database, Java, everything. Then later I went back to take a full appointment in a teaching hospital. So I've had about 15 years of appointment in a teaching hospital. I've studied and understudied, published papers in the area of health informatics. But now I think it's time to really delve into it. And I just stumbled on your advert on Instagram, and it really, really attracted my attention. And I really, really appreciated the fact that you're a patriotic Nigerian. I'm not really sweet talking because I know if most of the Nigerians in diaspora can be doing what you are doing, well, we can build capacity and create opportunities for the Nigerian youth. And I think this is good. And I think I want to give it all my best and see if, I know nurses can travel around. I can easily travel. It's very easy. But I just decided to build my career path along that area. And I sincerely hope that I will maximize this opportunity to build my career path along that area. So that at least, even if I leave Nigeria with AWS, IT Cloud, and all those things, if Nigeria now needs me, at least I will have a sufficient understanding of how to solve Nigerian problems alongside my mentor. So I have understudied your course, and I saw that you are really going to be mentoring us beyond the 3 months. We will not be a burden to you. I will not be a burden to you, but I definitely will need your motivation and facilitation. So thank you for this opportunity, and God bless you, sir.
Awesome. Thank you, Mr. Adedeji. Thank you. Our second professor in the house.
All right, good evening. My name is Akin. Hello. Hello, good evening.
All right. Yes.
Yeah, my name is Akin Aregbesola. I live in Abuja, and then I'm a program analyst. I've worked on a couple of, my background is I have a BS in computer mathematics, and then I also have an MSc in computer networks. So I've worked on some core enterprise solutions like BPM and some ERP solutions. I got to know about this platform was a referral from one of your outgoing students. So the new trend is cloud computing. So I actually have interest, and I hope I'll get what I'm looking at getting here. And my major concern is DevOps. So I'm just hoping that at some point we'll be able to have a brief background about development DevOps modules. This is a privilege for me. I welcome everybody here. This is a great solution. It's a beautiful advantage for all of us. Let's just IT is not complex. It's just a basic. Once there's the basic understanding, everything follows through. Mr. Akin, my pleasure once again. I like what you're doing. This is a very big innovation, and I hope that all of us will get what we're looking for at the end of the day. Thanks.
All right. Thank you so much, Mr.
All right, my pleasure. I'm a twin. My brother is in this class. He's in this session as well, but I don't know if he wants to say anything. But then, as time goes by, we'll probably meet ourselves eventually.
Okay. Okay, I think I remember you now. You made payment for the two of you, for both of you.
Yeah, both of us. Yeah. Thank you.
Right. All right, so thank you guys. Yeah, I'm certain that you would get value. But as for DevOps, this course, IT is wide and deep. But this particular course will take us only to cloud solution architecting for now. DevOps is a deeper level. It's going deeper than that. That is not covered. I have not been, that's too expensive for you guys at the moment. But let's start with this, basically. Let's start with this. So as far as being a cloud solutions architect is concerned, I am certain that you will get value, and you all would be confident to say, yes, I can go into cloud and deploy and provision infrastructure. All right, so having said all of that, and having taken like 20 minutes to introduction. Okay, so let's now just, again, this is not really starting the course. Your trainer will start with you properly. I already mentioned, just in case you don't late, that I will not be the trainer for this course. I am the dean and facilitator. I have my Nigerian-based trainers, and then one of them will be taken over from me to deliver this ceremony. It's not the first time we are doing it. We've been doing it since last year under this name, ITern, but of course I've been in training forever. So this is not experimenting. This is doing for certain what we are giving, preparing you factually for the market. All right, so let us start. Where do we start? Okay, so the whole concept of IT starts from essentially a computer. All right, but these days, even though we say computer, these days it may not be strictly computer. It could be laptop. It could be, it could not strictly desktop. It could be laptop. It could be mobile phone. It could be devices as small as even mouse. As long as they can connect to internet these days, they are good enough. This is the term. All right. So we are starting fundamentally from computers. So for a corporate network, anytime we say corporate network, this is what we have in mind. that within an organization, within a building, for example, the kind of places that Peter and the guys who work in the oil industry, they are kind of office where you have 3, 4, 7, 20, maybe 50, 70 computers, all networked together. And the whole idea of networking is for the computers to be able to share resources with one another without somebody coming all the way from floor 7 to floor 1 just to come and print or to come and retrieve a file in a flash drive or even in a disk. So you should be able to share resources irrespective of where you are. That is the goal of networking. When you do have a network of computers within a building, you call that network working together. You call it corporate network. Corporate network. So for a bank, you want to refer to the network of computers within a bank, it will be corporate network. Within an office, it will be corporate network. Right? Within even a full building, as long as it's a singular building, it's corporate network, irrespective of how many floors the building has. Right? So the whole idea is, I want to tell you what cloud is. That's why I'm building you for first. You now know what cloud is because you are going to be cloud engineers later. So when we say corporate network, usually the facilities, the resources, especially the hardware, the physical parts of the computer that you can use, your server, your computers, your cable, your switches, and everything you need to make that connection possible. They are physical, they are real, they are within the building. All right. In fact, you have a room labeled server room. Please mute yourself. Because it's flowing now, we don't want any interruption. All right. So in that kind, oh, I didn't know people were waiting. Raymond, you didn't tell me people were waiting to come in.
Sorry, I didn't take note of it.
So please take notes. This is your class. So watch the group and see what's there. All right. So when we have this corporate environment, your various equipment, devices for making that connection possible are physical. So for that reason, you call that kind of network is called on-prem. It's real. It's within your premises, on-prem. Now, this was the case some 15, 10, 7, even 5 years ago. But these days, on-prem network is no longer as common as it used to be. What we have now is that instead of the 50, 70, 300 computers that we normally have within a corporate network, what you have now is that you now spin up those computers virtually, no longer physically within your building, virtually, so that you still have access to the resources. Everything the computer that is physical should have done, you are still able to do, but no longer with physical computers, with virtual computers that you can access through your laptop. So even though you are using your laptop to do the work is not actually done on your laptop. The laptop is just acting as an interface to connect with something much bigger than the resources of the laptop in the back end. So this machine, these servers behind the laptop that you access to do your data analytics, to do your Internet of Things, to act as your server for your machine learning, and these big technologies, they are actually physical devices resident somewhere that you don't know. Resident could be in the US, could be in China, could be whatever it is. But services on those physical hardware are made available to you through the concept of cloud. Whereas the physical hardware, the assembly of physical hardware in the warehouse where all of them are housed, they are managed, they are secured, is called the data center. So the services of cloud services originate from a physical place with so many computing resources, but now made available through services called cloud. So that physical place could be as big, we could be as tiny as a hall like this, or as big as a whole town. But it's big, I mean, your regular warehouse, instead of having goods there and having machines and having equipment, what you now have in that regular warehouse is computers. Computers made up of big storage systems, heavy memories, heavy networking, everything heavy, that is now able to serve all these heavy resources are now shared and distributed amongst millions and billions of users all over the world. And these users are accessing these hardware resources through the cloud services. So, as a cloud solutions architect, what you would ultimately become is that you are the person who is able to use your laptop to go into cloud, all right? To go through the interface called in your laptop, go into cloud, and then what do? You are now able to spin up resources within that cloud environment. You know the capacity of the system that you know that you need to do a particular job. The job could be that, the example I normally give, you have a contract with your oil and gas company to analyze a particular sample to analyze records, for example, maybe from 1960 to date, analyze record from a particular rig to determine if the result of the analysis will be used, maybe by a different department, not you, to determine if there is still oil left on that rig or something like that. So to do that, if you wanted to use a singular computer to do that, it's going to take you 3 years to accomplish. But these people in IT, once you need something, you want it almost immediately. So you want to set up about 70 computers that will run this analysis, and in 3 days, everything is ready. You generate the report, and then you give it to the department that will now further analyze and make their conclusions. So if, for example, that's the kind of analysis you want to run on your data, you don't need one computer. One computer cannot do that. So the many computers that you need, that your company needs to do that, they will contact you as architect. So it's now your job to go into cloud and come up with the right number of systems, each system having the having adequate resources in terms of the storage, in terms of the processing, and in terms of the memory. All right? And not just spinning up servers. You also know what operating system needs to run on the server. You add it to this, you build. It is that building that is called architecture. So you architect and the systems, the environment, the security, the availability, the operating system, the applications. You don't design the application, it's not coding. But when the application is designed, you must make sure that the application can fit into the infrastructure that you have architected for that goal. So your job would be to be able to go into cloud, and because imagine that the cloud is a place of not just enormous, inexhaustible. You cannot finish the resources that are there. So it's now up to you to go there and say, this is what I want. Oh, you charge me $2 per day for this service. I'll need this, I'll need this, I'll need this. And then you put them all together to come up with the architecture, that you need to fit the goal of the project. So this is what you'll be doing. So it means that what you expect to become at the end of this lecture is to be able to go into cloud. Specifically, there are three major kinds of clouds. The cloud that is owned and run by Amazon, that cloud is called AWS. Another cloud that is owned and run by Microsoft, that cloud is called Microsoft Azure. Then a cloud that is owned and run by Google, called Google Cloud. These are the three biggest of the world cloud market. These three alone are taking over 60%. So the remaining 100 or 200 are sharing the remaining 40%. So we don't talk so much about it. We focus on these three. But again, we are not going to use all of these three. We're going just going to take one of them, focus on that, learn everything we can about solutions architecting within that one, and be able to do everything relating to solutions architecting. And the one that we're choosing is the one that has the highest market share. In other words, when you are looking for a job, the one that most, in other words, say most mean like over 50%. Out of every 10 employers, over 5 of them will be using my AWS cloud to deploy their services. So based on the market and what employers are looking for, both based on the jobs available out there in the real world, we have chosen to go with AWS. So our cloud platform where you will practice. If the noise continues, I'm going to block it permanently because you are distracting and disturbing us. If I identify you, it will not be good. Please mute yourselves. You don't have noise in your background, no problem. You don't have to mute, but if the noise is disturbing everyone. All right, now do you have a picture of where we are going? Do you have this picture of where we are coming from? We are coming from a corporate background and we are moving into cloud. The corporate way is the way that it used to be done, the conventional, the traditional way, and cloud is the modern way. It is with this cloud now that things that were not possible 10 years, 15 years, 20 years ago are now possible. It is with cloud that these new technologies that you hear about every time, with the facilities, amenities, the services, and the enormous capability in cloud that is making so many things possible. And this, like what you said at the beginning, it's not just the future, it's already here because it has come. It's no longer like it's in the future. It has come now, and we are living in that era where cloud and related technology is the way, the norm. Now, between corporate networks and cloud, there is something called enterprise networks. An enterprise network will simply mean where the network is not localized within a building. It's not a LAN, right? When the network is localized within a building, especially within a building, you call it local area network. In terms of the geographical span, we call that network local area network, right? So in terms of the operating system and the way that that network is managed, we call it corporate network. But in terms of its geographical spread, we call it local area network. Now, what about when we have a network like a telecoms network, for example, a network like MTN of several millions, to be modest, let's just say 20 million different subscribers. Are they localized? Are they all within the same building? No, that's not corporate network. Unless you are talking about the network within MTN's head office, just the network and the connection of computers used loosely. Within that, they will say their corporate office or their corporate network, that office. But when you are now including their subscribers from all over Nigeria, sometimes even all over the world, depending, then it is no longer a local area network. That kind of network where you have people connected to the server. So they may call their server a different name, not necessarily server. All right, they call their server switch. That kind of network will have millions of people scattered from Warri, Port Harcourt, Lagos, are connected to the same network. That is called enterprise. Enterprise. It means it's not localized, it's spread across and managed from the central. And when you do have a central server managing thousands and millions of remote devices like that, then that central server will not run the same operating system that the corporate server runs. So whereas the corporate server that manages 300, 400, 700 computers is very okay to run Windows Server operating system, this other server that is running the enterprise will crash under that load of thousands of connections, whether wired or wireless, running Windows operating system. So there's a more robust, more scalable, more secure, more flexible, lighter kind of operating system that can withstand millions of connections. CB, very stable. So that operating system is the same operating system that you are taking into cloud to manage your services. So what I'm saying in one word is that when you are migrating or setting up your network in cloud, the operating system that you have in mind is not the small operating system that manages 300 computers or 700 computers or even 3,000 computers. What you are going to set up in cloud is usually servers that would run millions, that will run applications to which millions of people will subscribe. Applications like Uber, right? Like Facebook, like what other, like Zoom. These are applications that are running billions of subscribers simultaneously. Not Windows. Windows can't do that. After it has been saved, after it has been generated, after the application has been generated, modified, deployed, and it's working fine, well, you could access it through a Windows environment. In fact, you do. The normal avenue to access it and use it with Windows environment at the customer's end. But at the server end, where it is being manufactured, so to speak, the operating system that you need there, which you are also taking into cloud, that you would also need in cloud, is called Linux or Linux operating system. So this is the reason you would first of all need to study, understand, and know how to use Linux operating system to create a file, to send file from one server to another server, to SSH remotely into a server that is outside of the country, to any server in the world, to be able to set up services, to do virtually anything. It is your ability, it is your understanding, first of all, of Linux, what it does and how to use it, and your ability to enter these commands and to see that it's actually doing it, that now prepares you to go into cloud and start to use that Unix operating system to manage the servers that you spin up in cloud. Anybody can, in less than 2 hours, you will know how to go into cloud and spin up servers. Anybody can do that. But what do you do with the servers after they are spinned up? This is where the work starts. Right? So having spinned off the server and the server is already loaded with Unix operating system, Unix, that's the general term for Linux kind of operating system, but specifically now, Linux operating system. You also need to be able to use that Linux operating system to manage and administer your entire network cloud. All right, so before cloud, we used to have this same scenario on our enterprise network. But this whole idea now is now migrating our enterprise network, not just our corporate network, our enterprise network into cloud. In other words, these days, you can have a whole telecoms company running everything in cloud, no longer setting up base stations. So if we were to repeat what we had when the GSM companies came into Nigeria, what they will be doing now will not be setting up base stations and BTSs and PSC, all of that. The technology has changed. Like you know with WhatsApp, how many base stations does WhatsApp have in your area? All right. Yes, those things would have their, but the point I'm making is the world in a physical form is now fast metamorphosing, changing into digital form, so that we don't really have to have digital infrastructure, physical infrastructure for so many kinds of services. They are now being replaced by digital infrastructure, virtual infrastructure in cloud. And you are the cloud architects in the making that will set up this infrastructure to make that digitization, migration from real world to digital world possible. All right. So now you have an idea. These are terms that we'll be using regularly, often, and then by the time we use it over 1 month, you get used to it. But at least you have an idea what we mean when we say corporate network, when we say enterprise network, and when we say cloud. All right. Then you also have an idea what we are training you to become. We are saying that at the end of this session, you are now able to go into cloud and set up infrastructure. If we say server, it's not complete. So instead of calling them just server, a server made up is more than server. There are other things that come with the server. So we want to call everything infrastructure, which means IT infrastructure, which means everything that you need to put together to work together to form the basis, the foundation on which you run your application. And you remember what application is? Remember the project that I mentioned about you getting a contract and analyzing? In that case, you are designing an application that will do that analysis of those data from 1960 to date to be able to extract some kind of report that the owner of the contract is looking for. That's what you are paid for. So there are different kinds of applications, and applications are generally called solutions. That's why you are called a cloud solution architect. The solution meaning that there's a problem in the real world that you are coming into cloud to solve. So you are part of the team of engineers, not using screwdrivers and physical equipment and tools, but using software-related tools to set up and achieve solution to that problem we are trying to solve. Anything here solution, it means application. Application simply means the problem-solving software that have been placed in cloud and publicly available to anyone. Right? So Facebook is an application in cloud available to billions. In fact, all 7 billion people over the world. The only hindrance would be that maybe you don't have Uber as a driver's application. It's solving a problem. Dating, games. How many applications can I mention? All over the place. Even in your area, tiny applications here. But they may be tiny in terms of their market share right now. But the fact that they are in cloud makes the possibility and their capability almost limitless. And they can keep growing without limits because of the facilities. All right. So I'll stop at that overview and then take your questions. And then once I am convinced that you understand that bit, we'll build another layer of knowledge. And then just keep going from there. It's not going to be theoretical. This class is not going to be theoretical. From the next class, we are going into cloud straight away. Tell you how to set up an account in cloud, take you into cloud, spin up a server, put Linux operating system into that server, and then we begin to practice right away in cloud. This is not, there is no, let us do the theory first, and then we'll not go to practical. No, let us do the practical straight away. So from day one, in this 3 months training, from day one, you'll be gaining the experience, practical experience that you need to prove to your prospective employer, or if you decide to do something for yourself, that you really do. And because you have done it, you can claim that you did it as part of your experience. So it should not be lying about whether you have the experience or not, because you actually did it. Yes, you can be able to claim it on the rest, right? So it's only today that is theoretical. Subsequently, every day. There's no day for theory, another day for practical. Every day is practical. And the amazing part is, unlike, I mean, basically, this practical starts with cloud. There's no simulation. This is what class look like. No. We are going straight into cloud and doing it from you. All right. I'll take a break. I'll take the questions, and then, like I said,
Yeah, thank you, Mr. Akin. That was a very good introduction right there. Sorry, I think there's a bit of noise in the background. Let me mute and say a message on. I'll just chat you up.
All right, that's fine. Yeah, because the background noise was kind of distracting. Yes, questions. Please feel free, because if you don't ask these apparently foolish questions now, or stupid questions, then by the time we start proper, it might be too late to ask, and they'll be asking you, were you not in the first class? So feel free to ask any question, no matter how stupid.
Yeah, good evening, Mr. Ken.
Yeah, Jordan, good evening. Or was that Jiboye?
Yes, that was me. So you mentioned, thanks so much for the foundation. I mean, it's getting clearer. Like before I came in, I had no idea what I was actually coming to. So first, you talk about Linux and you talk about Unix. So can you just, maybe I didn't hear you right. I know you mentioned Linux operating system. That's the system that is using cloud. Then you talk about Unix too. So I'm kind of like lost at that point.
So I mentioned Linux and I mentioned Linux.
Okay, maybe I didn't hear you well. Maybe it was only Linux I heard. Or did you mention Unix?
What did you think I mentioned?
I think you mentioned 2 things, maybe Linux and Unix. So I wanted to be sure.
And Unix, right? Oh, okay.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. So Unix is the global name for the kinds of operating systems that are non-Windows, generally speaking. So Unix Solaris, Unix PH, Unix, but one flavor of Unix, so to speak, one kind of Unix is Linux. So Linux is a Unix-based operating system.
Okay, I got that. So, thanks so much.
You can write it as Unix stroke Linux. Or these days, most of the time, we'll just forget about the Unix part and simply call it Linux.
Okay, thanks so much, sir.
So Linux is a Unix-based operating system. The characteristics is that anytime you mention Unix, is the other person, the opponent, the other environment that you are trying to distinguish it from is usually Windows. So Windows is graphic user environment. You see graphics, you see icons, you are using your mouse to click. But Unix-based operating systems are blank. black, just the cursor waiting for you to enter a command. When we say Unix or Linux operating system, we mean these are run by commands, make directory, change directory, remove file, create file. You are actually typing in the command, and that is the real IT. All this other IT about, look at it, click it, is just for consumers. It's not for engineers. It's for, I have done the job, you go and check it. Okay? End users, customers, subscribers. But you being the engineers at the server that is preparing this work for the end users, you are going to use it differently. You are going to learn Linux, right? And it's scary. Linux, a different kind of operating system from Windows that I'm used to. No, it's not that difficult to learn. You feel really at home.
Hello, sir.
All right.
Can you hear me, sir?
Yes.
Good afternoon.
Afternoon.
Okay, so I would like to ask, can we know the schedule of classes, like the timetable for classes, based on what you have said, if you can run us through it to have an idea what the class schedule is going to be so that we can actually plan from this class.
Yeah,
then
it's,
secondly,
there'll be two, let me take that first. So there'll be two classes will be twice a day, Saturdays and Sundays, 7:30 p.m. to 9:30 p.m. Nigerian time.
Okay, so that's twice a week.
Yes, twice a week.
Okay. Secondly, someone here said, Taye Ibiejuba, what are the basic requirements for the practical classes? What specs of computer do we need to set up the Linux OS? I think that's a good question that I'll need you to, for us that we are just a novice to understand what we need to have in place before the practical classes.
Okay. So what you need to have in place is a laptop. A laptop. Raymond, we are not doing virtualization, I hope you know. So just any laptop is okay. Because if we were going to do virtualization, I would say minimum 4 gig. But even if it's just a 2 gig laptop, it will do. Because we are not actually using your laptop resources. We are just using your laptop as a door to go into cloud. So all of the Linux, all of the heavy machines we'll be using, they are in cloud. We'll be spinning them up in cloud. So what you need is to be able to come into this cloud so that you can have access to all of these resources. What do you need to do that? You need a laptop and internet access. That's it. You get that?
Yes, thank you, that works.
Yeah, so DFK, where are you from? Where are you? This is not for American classes. It's not that you are speaking American English. DFK. Good evening.
Yes, I'm here.
You gave yourself away. Where are you?
Hello, good evening, sir.
Okay, you are for me deaf and dumb now, right? All right. Yes. Somebody was saying good evening.
Sir. So, yeah, I just wanted to ask a bit of question. So I'm a light developer, and oftentimes I used to host my application locally and on the cloud. And the cloud that I mean here is I use normal hosting agents like GoDaddy, Maxfront. Just drop my application there and I'm good to go. But I came in contact with AWS, and when I logged in on the portal, the whole thing was, even to host a WordPress website is it's like a whole island on its own.
Yeah.
So I know that a lot of people are moving to, AWS, Google Cloud, Oracle. They say you are able to scale well and manage your resources very well. But I need to know what's the major difference. People will tell you your application is not serious yet when it's not on those platforms. So I just understand what the major difference is. Why are people moving to that side other than, for me, GoDaddy is just simple, pay them and they take care of all those resources for you.
Okay. Good question, but I am wondering if it's too early to answer that. Well, I'll still give an overview. So GoDaddy, for example, as a service provider is likely to have their own, this thing we're explaining about going into cloud and architecting an application. They are just, so in cloud, there are 3 levels of providers. So you can have your infrastructure, all right? So you can go to cloud to get your infrastructure, and then you know what operating system to put, what application to run, and so on and so forth. That is one level. Another level is, that's called infrastructure as a service. Another level is platform as a service. I can go to cloud, take my infrastructure, put my platform, and then announce to the world. Now I have services that can do some service. I have a service that can do this and do that. I can even go further and go above platform as a service. I get my infrastructure, I put my platform, I run my application and put it, and now I'm selling to you. I have a service now that is selling to you directly what you need. So you, in that case, you don't need to go to cloud and first of all set up your infrastructure like you are needing to do as engineer. Put the platform there, put the service there before you now tell your company, oh, we are ready to go. No. So a company like GoDaddy is doing service, software as a service. So they went into AWS, employed people like you to complete the infrastructure, and then you put your Linux operating system, you put all the services that you need from Linux operating system, your Git, your GitHub, and then put the application for billing, for monitoring, before you now sell that service to the market. Before you now take that service to the market. So fundamentally, they are the same thing. It's just that one is working on bare server and preparing bare server to meet their specification. Another one at the infrastructure as a service layer. Another one is working at the platform. In other words, they are not, at this level, you're not bothering about, is there even a server behind? I didn't know about server because somebody else has taken care of that and completed that. Another one like GoDaddy is selling software as a service. You are not even aware of all of these jargons that we are trying to come up with now. All you know is that you just give them your website and then deploy it and everything is. So they are different levels, but the same cloud. So in one word, GoDaddy is not necessarily its own cloud provider. It's also it's also a subscriber to AWS, going through the same preparation process that we are going to go through to create their own service before now making it available in the market. I don't know if that helps.
Yes, it does. Thank you very much.
Okay. All right. So that can be likened to, okay, I'm looking at the building in front of me. When you go to, if I go to this building now and I say, I need an apartment, give me like a 3-bedroom apartment. All right. When they provide that 3-bedroom apartment to me, they have given me platform as a service. But if that building was not there, I go to an empty land and I'm building my own 3-bedroom apartment from scratch. Then the land that was presented to me is infrastructure as a service. So I now build the apartment, the furnishing, and everything as I want. All right. So if I have the land, I build from scratch. That is one level. Another thing is I don't have the land. The house is already built. I just take one apartment from that house. That is another level, and platform as a service. But there's a higher level, software as a service, and which is, so that would be the land, the building is already on the land, the apartment is already on the building, and the apartment is already furnished. Refrigerator, your tea. In fact, nothing. Just bring your bag. In fact, even if you don't bring bag, your bag is already just walking like your hotel room, and everything is set. That is software as a service. That is what GoDaddy is giving you. If you look beyond that, you see that actually beyond that, they hired an apartment first for furnishing, and that apartment was from a building, and that building was built on ground. So that's layers. Yeah, it's still okay. Even me, I mean, if I don't want to, how much am I making that I'll be competing with people that are making, because there is really money, really good money in IT. Those people are probably making $3 million, $4 million per, let's say we'll be modest per annum. So they can afford to hire a cloud solution architect or 2 or 3 that would man their engineering infrastructure. But for me as one man, I'm in charge of my marketing, I'm in charge of this, I'm in charge of that. So I'd rather go with GoDaddy and do software as service instead of trying to set up my own website, web server infrastructure from scratch. So, I mean, it just depends. If it's a big company that's able to set up that department, then they'll do it from the infrastructure as a service point of view. If it's a small company that wants to focus on marketing and its own major specialization and leave the rest to some contractor that'll be doing these other pieces, then they will just go for software. All right, hopefully that's clear. All right, next question. So I saw something. Oh, great. Thank you, Hassan. All right. Google Cloud, AWS Cloud. No, they are all just competitors. There's no difference. Of course, no difference in terms of what they provide. But of course, why are we choosing one over the other? Because we are training you to go into the market and grab some job. So we looked into the market and find out what are these employers using. And we found out that majority of them are using AWS. So we decided to go with AWS. And of course, AWS naturally, any other thing will be marketing AWS. They are not paying me to market for them. So in terms of the services that you have access to is fundamentally the same thing. So if the question now is, why do most employers prefer, most cloud users prefer AWS over the others? That's a different question. And then of course, by the time you go into AWS and you begin to use AWS, you'll be in a better position to appreciate the answer to that question. Now you don't even know what AWS is. You've not even been to cloud. You don't even have an account. So, but for now, the real reason we're taking AWS is because it has the largest market share of the three. In other words, what that means in simple terms is that every 10 employer out there, more than 5 of them, to be modest, will be using AWS, whereas all the other cloud service providers will be pursuing the other, will be around the other 5. So, but the actual market share is about 33% thereabout for AWS, then about 20% for Microsoft Azure, and about 8% for Google Cloud. So the 3 of them together taking over 50% of the market share and leaving the remaining less than 50% for the rest of Alibaba, Oracle, and the rest of them. Yes. Questions? We have videos of, yeah, definitely. Videos are shared after every class. So we are recording the videos. So once we are done with class, we would have access to the videos. So even if you miss class, no worries. The videos are not edited, they are raw as they are. So you don't miss anything out. This was the mission between, okay, we've talked about that. What specs of computers? So we've answered that. All right, let me take questions. Excuse me, students still in university, I'm new with cloud. Yeah, this is a very good course for people that are still in campus. You are still in university. So as you are graduating from university, you are ready for the market. It's the best time. You don't have to spend another 1 year or 2 years trying to acclimatize and bridge this gap between academics and industry. You are ready to do this. Awesome, beautiful. But I would, yeah, that's my view. Yes, please, let me take your question. Oh, no more questions?
Good evening, Mr. Akin.
Yeah, evening, Martins.
My name is Martins. I'm a software test engineer
here
in Lagos. Based on, thank you for the introductory class or section, very informative. Based on the guideline that you sent from your website, are we covering Kubernetes and
no.
Okay. So
that's for American class. People paying $4,100. We're also starting that one today. I'm starting that one in another 4 hours. So that one is more details.
How many months does that one run for?
4 months.
4 months. Okay. Thank you.
That's really detailed. That will cover Dockerization, Kubernetes, CI/CD pipeline, infrastructure as code, a lot of things for the American market. So that one you can confidently go out and say, yes, ready for CCD. But this one is, this one is like this crumbs falling off the table. So you manage it. Can you please share like the syllabus of the syllabus is that's what we're discussing now. That does not cover all of those details. So what it covers is fundamentals of IT, just to help people that are completely new to IT, at least come up to level to begin to understand what we say corporate network of the enterprise network of the new. And then the real IT will start with Linux operating system. What is Linux? How do we run it in cloud? Emphasizing that everything we are doing is about cloud. The era of, first of all, trying it outside cloud before coming into cloud. We don't have time for that one anymore. No employer, no interview is asking you, what did you do during the experimental stage? They're asking you, what projects have you done with this? Anything you do in cloud and you see the result, that is right? And then, of course, having known enough, will now go into AWS proper, covering, using the curriculum of the AWS certified solutions architect associate level. Use their curriculum, the official curriculum, so that after the training, you are able to do the practicals to set up the different AWS services like EC2, RDS, RAW 53, VPC, and all of the components. And then you are also able to write and pass the certification, subject to additional work of revising DOMs. That's the curriculum, just 3 seconds. I'll cover them all in 3 minutes. 3, can you see? 3 seconds. All right, so those are the questions that I have. So more questions. More questions. You like to prepare yourself before classes. There's nothing to prepare here. Just come to class and sit-ins. There's nothing to prepare. It's not. There's nothing to go and read. No textbook or yes, we'll share manuals in class. But what's more important is to follow the practicals and then watch the video over and over until you're able to do exactly what was shown you in class. You're able to repeat it and do it, and then you now write it down. Oh, I can do this now. Is that little writing of I can do this now, I can do this now, that add up to form your CV that you are taking to the market. So this is not academic work where we say, tomorrow we're going to do lesson 5, go and read it first and go and do assignment for no. Just come to class and follow what we do. I already gave you an overview of what and what will be covered. But if you want them in writing, then go to the website, theITern.com/course outline, and then you see under Linux what will be covered. Just copy that one out. Under AWS, what will be covered. These are the 2 that are related to this course. The other ones about DevOps and other ones, they are outside of this course, your course. All right. Yes, questions. All right, if there are no questions, so that will be it as far as the introduction is concerned. We completed that in 1 hour. If there are questions, I'm happy to take. All right. So if there are no questions, then it means that I'll introduce your trainer. Is there going to be a follow-up on other topics as a new course? Is there going to be a follow-up on other topics? I don't get that. What does that mean? What other topics? Explain what that, I don't understand that. I don't understand what that question is. All right, so your class, your regular trainer would be Raymond, all right? So Raymond is the Nigerian trainer that would, that's based in Nigeria, that would act on my behalf and train you on my behalf. I might come in only at the end of the training to see, just as courtesy, not really to teach you anything, because Raymond already knows everything that should be taught. If there is something that I need you to do, I will normally meet with Raymond and then pass it to him for onward transmission. All right, Maurice Gilbert, you want to say something? Yes, Maurice Gilbert. All right. Okay, so Raymond will be your trainer. So if there are no more questions for me, maybe I should let you start the training proper today. Otherwise, if there are questions, we just continue to do the introduction today and then start the training proper the next time. Classes will be Mondays, Saturdays and Sundays. And if the question that keeps popping up is, are we going to introduce it to the other courses outside those 3 courses? Big letter, no. Capital letter, no. I've said that many times, that those courses are not for you. I told you the courses that you are covering under your own course. All right. I'm not sure what that question is saying, because it's popped up like 4 times now. But if that's the question, no. Focus on the ones that you paid for. Introduction, Linux, and AWS. Pass your AWS certification, and that should be good enough for Nigerian market to be able to get this. All right, so Raymond, you want to talk and welcome them to class and get them ready for practical session? All right,
okay, so thank you very much. Hello, good evening, everyone. Hello.
Good evening.
Yeah, good evening.
Good evening. We are with you here.
Yeah, good evening. My name is Raymond Mamadou. I will be your trainer for this course. And I welcome each and every one of us to the ITern. You have actually chosen the right path to your career. All you just need to do is come hungry to learn. Just like when Mr. Unity introduced himself, he said he's a fresher. Okay, I like that word. That means we have a lot of novice among us. So we're going to take this training from the scratch in order to be able to carry everybody along. We are not leaving anybody behind. I will also encourage you guys to work as a team. That is only when we can get to the finish line successfully. The WhatsApp platform is there for us to be able to communicate with each other.
in course of practicing, when you have issues, you take a screenshot of the challenge you're having, send it to the WhatsApp platform. Then your trainer is available to provide support. Even your classmates too can also provide support for you. Each and every one of us should be ready to learn. At the same time, come to class regularly. Ensure you watch the videos that will be sent to you. Practice before class. At the end of the day, you're not going to have any issues as long as we are working together as a team. We have a very interesting journey ahead of us. Only when we work together as a team, that is when we get to our destination successfully. Cloud computing is the rating. So if you go online and you Google, you find out a lot of testimonies relating to cloud computing. And that is why most of us have already taken that step in order for us to be able to come for this training, just like what Mr. Adedeji said. So it took some of us time for us to be able to go through the findings. At the end of the day, you have finally getting to the ITern, and we can never disappoint you. Okay? Thank you very much. Any question? Okay, before I forgot, I was thinking if our classes would be Sundays and any other day of the week, because I already have a schedule for Saturday. So I don't know if it's okay by us if we're going to have Sunday and probably Tuesdays. For those of us that joined the group early before last week, I already said that on the WhatsApp forum. So I don't know if it's okay by you guys. Hello?
You are saying you are not available on Saturdays and Sundays? For Saturdays and Sundays?
No, sir. I already have a schedule for Fridays and Saturday.
Mm-hmm. So what days are you suggesting? Let everybody know.
Sundays and Tuesdays. Don't know if it's Tuesday is okay by then.
Okay, can we shift the class to weekdays? Is weekdays okay? Instead of, should we leave Sunday out of it?
Okay, Sunday is fine. Sunday is fine. Then maybe one of the weekdays, but I think Sundays is fine.
Okay, so Sunday and Tuesday, is that okay for everyone?
Sunday and Tuesdays.
I think Sunday and Tuesdays.
7:30.
It's fine for me.
Yes,
yes,
7:30 p.m.
It's okay.
Okay. So Sundays and Tuesdays going one. Saturdays are for one. Okay. Sundays and Tuesdays going two. Sundays and Tuesdays final. So classes will now be Sundays and Tuesdays, no longer Saturdays and Sundays. All right. Then I see here we have about 29 persons minus Raymond and I 27, 25. We have up to 25 payments. In case you have not already made payment and you are here, well, this is just the inaugural class. We deliberately allow that. Please make payment before your next class, which is Tuesday. Link to next class and subsequent classes will be sent only to people that have registered, in other words, made payment for this class. Please share your payment receipt, just like you have done with me on the WhatsApp number, with your trainer, so that he also has copy of your payment receipt. And you are not barred from class because I'm not able to, because for any reason whatsoever, So please just send a copy of your payment transit. He would introduce himself proper, and then you'll be able to click his name on the WhatsApp group and then send to him. Okay. And then subsequently, of course, you are going to run into issues. So you're trying to do something online, it's not going. You were taught one Linux command in class, and you are trying to run the same command, but you are not getting results. Just take a picture, take a screenshot of the situation, post it on the WhatsApp group, and then you'll get help. Support will come from your trainer, from your colleagues, and like Raymond mentioned, we just step steps here and there to get there, right? So that support will be on for 3 months, so that there is nothing that you'll not be able to accomplish if you attempt to. If you don't attempt it, you don't run into problems, and therefore you don't know if you're able to do it or not. But once you attempt it and you are not making headway, then take a picture, show us. Just one picture is worth more than so many text messages back and forth. How are you going to explain the situation when you can just take it? Tell us the situation. I will support you to resolve it. And occasionally, you don't have problem. You actually carry out a task, and you are surprised how easy it went through. You also want to share to say, "Wow, I didn't know this would be this easy. I did it. Look at it." Right? So share your successes on the group. Share your difficulties as well, so that we can help. All right, so I'm part of that group. I'm seeing what's going on. Occasionally, I might step in, but there is no problem that you would come into that you'll not be able to read. So I may not want to take that shine from you. So I may not step in until and come that you really do need my contribution. So that's about it. Is there something I'm forgetting? All right, so this training is for Nigerian market. So don't come back and tell me we completed training and you didn't get a job in the US. I did not promise you a job in the US by undergoing this training. If you want US job, then undergo US training and then hold me responsible. If after the training, and I see that you genuinely put in your effort after you've made payment that you are not getting, no, it's not possible. It's not, if you cannot get the job by yourself, then we'll have to do something to get you the job after US training. But for Nigerian training, there are no strings attached. There are no promises. It's just pure training. And we are hoping and believing from my interaction with some of you today that you know the value of the training and you'll be able to, by yourself, transmute that value to something meaningful within the Nigerian market. Even though IT is the same globally, this is deliberately made affordable and therefore covers only what we can give free of charge. No, not free of charge, almost free of charge. But for somebody, 50,000 is big money. Yeah, I appreciate that. It cannot be completely free, but this is the best that we can. As a novice, I'm ready, hungry, willing to learn. Oh, we are ready to take your hand and lead you all the way. All right. You've left the table to me, so I'm just looking for what to say. Because you guys are not communicating. 29 people here and just two or three persons doing the talk. Is the internet connection that bad? How about the Canadian markets? So, just like to make me talk, so no, you don't need any skill whatsoever in IT. We're taking you from scratch, no programming skill, nothing. We're building you from the very scratch. Then we'll get to a point where you will be able to decide for yourself if you need programming or not. But this is fundamental. You get to a level where you want to decide, oh, this aspect is interesting. Maybe I should focus on this, also this further. Or this program is hard. Anything scripting, I want to avoid it. And then you just be We need to take you to that level rather than staying here and talking all the theories. We need to get you to that level where you have an understanding of this whole concept. And then you know what security is, what networking is, what coding is, what Internet of Things, and then you make up your mind, okay, this level. I mean, the US market is the same. Sure, yeah, US market, Canadian market, global market is the same. Once you are in the US market, you can penetrate anywhere. You are hot cake in any other market. US market, this is the peak of IT. US is the peak of IT. Once you can excel in IT in US market, you are made. Who is this man that just staring at me? Oh, Peter, I did it. Okay. Your photo is just staring at me. And mic is working. Are you the minister that is here, their mic? Turn off the mic or let your mic work. Unity. All right. Any other question here? Okay, no more questions. So how many more minutes do we have, Raymond?
About 34 minutes.
24, no, that's not enough.
Sorry, hello, sir. 34.
Yeah.
Hello, sir.
Yeah.
Hello, sir. Hello.
Can somebody help me answer, please?
Yeah, Mr. Peter, we can hear you.
Okay, thank you. I think there's one question that seems to have been popping up. Maybe I can verbally put it right. I think what we are trying to ask is that after the Nigerian market syllabus, and we now probably have developed some more interest, can there be an advanced course that can step it up to the US market? That's what
Nigerian course is the basic course.
Yes, what we are saying now is that if you now want to move to the, like after completing this, having a certification, you know, some people might, because personally I saw most of the testimonials I saw on the ITern website, majority claimed they got employment in the US, some at UAE, then only 2 said they got employment in Nigeria. So what we are saying is that, okay, after running through this course, having our certification in Nigeria, if you now want to migrate or integrate into the US market, can there be like an advanced course that will not, you know, because that will not be as costly as the current US market, but maybe an update course or advanced course over this later?
You said majority claimed that they are in the US. The people who got job in the US are in the US. They did not get job in the US from Nigeria. Testimonials on our page.
Yeah, the testimonial. Well, I'm not trying to question.
No. I'm just correcting that now. You cannot say so. I'm just correcting that for everybody's consumption. That do not expect to get a US job remotely from Nigeria. Yes, opportunities are coming up more now for people in Nigeria to get offshore jobs. I mean, there have been 2 in the testimonial page, and on top of that 2, there have been more. There have been at least 2 more. Although these 2 more are not a permanent position, they are just contract. They are contract positions. So yeah, but they are good. I mean, the people are happy and they came back to tell us, wow, because of this training, I got this. It's not a permanent thing, but okay. Would there be for that training that can develop you for more global opportunities? Of course, I've said that many times. Would it be my training? I'm not sure. It's not likely because I cannot afford my own advanced training. $4,500 is over 2 million naira, right? Unless you are in the US and you are the land of opportunities, where it is very likely that if you spend that kind of money to do quality training with me, then it is very likely that you get a job. I don't see, in fact, I'll be afraid to take that kind of money from you. you ask me to come and play with my blood if you don't get a job at the end of the day. So yes, there'll be opportunities outside to further. I mean, haven't laid that foundation to further learn, and we're not necessarily to do with. Unless something happens and the Lord whispers into my ear, so crash this to the level where every Nigerian can afford it, and that's not likely to happen because I went through 7 rivers and 7 seas to gather all of this material to come up with that quality of training that I can say, yes, do this training. Because I know how much, that's not for your market, so I don't want to really talk about that. But I went through so much. So it's not likely that the pride will crash. However, there'll be other opportunities. Because once, like I said, once you get to that level and you know what you are looking for, the vision is now clearer and you're able to. But right now, we just talk. Yes. If you decide to specialize on maybe DevOps CI/CD, for example, because you are now at that level, you're able to see things clearer, and then you see when the opportunity comes, you recognize these opportunities. All right. I hope I answered your question. But the focus now is to get this started and get this done within 3 months and be able to say, first of all, I'm a cloud solutions architect. The next thing I want to do now is maybe automation, to learn how to write script that will automate this whole process, or maybe not even automation. I'm interested in this new line of what could it be? Automation is my own focus area, my own area of specialization. Why did I stop this? I didn't know. I thought you had exhausted your question. So now that questions are coming up.
Hello, sir.
Yeah. I'm hearing you.
Okay. My name is Omololu from Benin. Are you with me, sir?
Hello?
Hello?
Yeah.
Hello? Yeah, so
Go ahead,
can you
we
hear
can
me,
hear
sir?
you.
Go ahead.
Very
We
well.
can all hear you. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Okay. All right. Thank you. You spoke about Nigeria market. My question is, hopefully some
Network is bad.
of us may plan to relocate out of the country someday. And we wouldn't want to go there and start as a leveler. Sorry about it. We wouldn't want to go there.
All right. So maybe you just type your question so that we can all read, and then
Hello, Mr. Akin.
might want to go all the way slow and steady to the internet.
I think his question. I think his question is.
With this.
I mean, for someone here in Nigeria. Your network is, your bandwidth is too low to carry your voice, so we're not hearing. Don't worry, Alonge or his. Let somebody interpret what you are trying to say, because it's taking.
Okay, I think what he's trying to.
We're about to start. Can we?
Yes.
Hello,
please go on.
Mr. Akin.
What do you think it's?
I think what he's trying to say is this. I think what he's trying to say is this. I believe he plans to relocate, out of Nigeria, maybe soonest or maybe in the near future. And he doesn't want to go to a foreign land. And
so what should he do?
Yeah, he will now starting afresh with regards to
what should he do? What's your answer to that question?
You should start with this foundation first, like you said.
And
I mean,
after which,
do we have to emphasize? Do we have to talk about that? Or you guys want to train to become a solutions architect? You're asking me the same question from different perspectives. So what do you expect to say now? The topic overflow the answer to that question.
Hello,
So
Mr.
it is the more reason I'm telling you that this is it's not for Canada. I don't go to Canada and say one man took your 150,000, they promised you IT job, now you are not. Don't. That's why I'm telling you this now, so that I'll be vindicated. So if you want a job if you want to prepare for the place that you are going to, this is a good way to start. This is just the foundation. It does not promise you where you are going. Somebody asked me, what about the UK market? I've already said that once you are good in the US market, you are good globally. And you're asking me what about UK market? Is UK market not part of global? We said that US market is the headquarters of all of the 10 biggest IT companies in the world. 9 of them, if not all 10 of them, are in the US, hiring thousands. So once you are good here, where else can compete with US? We already said that. All right, Mr. Jordan, we can hear you now.
Okay, I wanted to ask, if one is done with the Nigerian training, right, and has the capacity to join the training in the US, can one do it as well?
Of course, once you have the capacity. Yes. I'll just ask you specially, are you sure you have the capacity? You are not going to borrow money because you think I promised you a job? Once you say yes, I have the capacity.
That's where you need to come in. Since we've done this foundation, at least you can use your discretion to at least optimize the cost for us. That's what we're trying to say.
Yeah.
It's not going to be that $4,000.
To have good number.
You have to optimize the cost for us as your former student that have done foundation.
Actually, there is something that I'm planning that may be substitute for doing those. I'm trying to look at the possibility of forming a club, kind of, where we can have a subscription-based once in a week session to see how we can cover those courses through the back door for people that have gone through basic. But again, it will have to be really presented in such a way that I'm not using that to compete with my own business and spoiling the real business. But yes, just confirming that I understand what Vince is saying. Yes, there's something I'm planning towards that. But to be honest, not everybody can afford that. But my interest is the few, 7, 8 persons that I can afford that. I'll rather take them with all my heart and make sure they get a job than have a crowd and make all the money, and then the percentage of people that are getting job reduces drastically, and I'm no longer able to boastfully say that I have great training. All right, but we'll look into that. Once you are part of the alumni, we'll look into what we can do to the people who genuinely need it.
Yeah, looking forward to that because, like I told you in my private chat, I'll be going to Canada soon. So
it's not for Canadian people. It's not for you. This one I'm talking about is not for you.
I know.
If you are going to Canada, pay in Canadian. I'm sorry, I'm strict, but I just have to be so that you will know that this man said it too. So it's not for that. But let's start. Okay, let's take questions now. Let's come back to the level of Azim Madei, the level of Fumi, the level of Paul Owolabi. Or they are just wondering, what are these people talking about? We are talking about, well, we don't even know AWS. You're already talking about 50 courses that they need in Canada. Let us in Nigeria even learn this one first. This is for us. So who is thinking like that? Let's allow you to talk. Who is thinking like that?
Oh, sorry.
Yeah.
Accepting our faith in the Nigerian market, what are the likely employers we will be looking towards? Because now that we know we are targeting the Nigerian market. So in what areas? Because I believe that we are being carved or trained to suit a target market. So what are in that environment, in the Nigerian environment, what areas of application can we start looking into so that we know how to—
Cloud solution architects.
Yes, I know, sir. We know that it's cloud solution architect, but are we looking at maybe MTN, 5G network, or
anywhere, even if it's a
Oracle,
pharmaceutical
whatever?
company or hospital, like even if it's a hospitality, hospital, whatever the industry is, as long as they have a cloud solution architect opening, you fit in. It's not industry specific. Your job as an IT person is everywhere. It's in agriculture, it's in, I mean, these are people, in fact, it's more likely to be outside of IT because these are people with problems and they are looking for solutions. So you are cloud solution architect. So go and use your IT to solve their problem. Yeah, so it cuts across all industries. Not specifically. If it comes with MTN, fine. Of course, with your Linux operating system, you can work with telecoms. You can work on the servers, any server for that matter. But more specifically, you are relevant in telecom servers, called switches, as a switch engineer. That's what they call their own people. But you'll be underutilized there. You really need a place where the infrastructure is in cloud, not really in physical form, and then just using cloud as second. Right? But again, this will become more apparent after you really start learning it and you know what you know and you know where. I mean, you'll not be able to at least imagine where these skills, this knowledge fit in. So that question will answer itself 2 months into training. And then by the time we start talking about this 3 months into training, we'll be talking from a whole different topic, from a new kind of understanding. Okay. Nigerian people are more relaxed. Previous sessions that we've had would normally extend beyond time because people will be so inquisitive. They want to learn about it. So, but for now, I'm sure that many people just want to get the classes, the practical sessions started, and then just do it. All right, but it's good that we have started. This is May 1st. We said we'll start today, and we have started today. It was good meeting you guys. So we'll start the practical session on Tuesday. All right. So don't forget to share your receipt one more time with your trainer, even though I will share with him as well and he'll be able to compare. But just so that there is no excuse relating to, I didn't get it from the day, that's why they are lying. Instead of Sunday and Tuesday, can we make it Sunday 4 hours? Some of us come back. No, 4 hours in training will be too much. After the first 1 hour or 2, you will not be able to focus. So 2 hours will be ideal so that you can assimilate almost everything you learned that day before you get to your saturation. All right, guys. Thank you so much. We'll see you in the session proper. All right. Are we closed for today?
Thank you, Mr. Akin. Thank you.
All right, Jordan. Thank you.
Thank you, Ray.
Thank you.
Are we done for today for the rest of you? 24, 25 persons? Peter
Yes,
David be saying something, but he's muted. All right. All right, guys, I'll let you go now. If anything, there's anything you forgot to say here, you want to say, please leave it in the group and then I will provide answers to whatever questions. All right. Then. Bye, everyone.
Bye, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you.